Hi, Assalamualaikum, and very good morning to our respected lecturer Dr. Aida and also my fellow friends. So today we are going to present an emotion, value and beliefs in presentation, social and culture dimension in organization, which is ADM201. Assalamualaikum again, Dr. Aida. So, we are from Group 1. Our group member consists of Nur Azila Izzati binti Nurizan, Arni Afzan binti Roslan, me, myself, Nurul Faiza binti Nasaruddin, and also Nazura binti Rusaini. So, our group member have choose emotion as our first topic, where we'll explain definition, types and model of emotions, implication and ways how to control your emotions, and also conclusion which will conclude by Nur Azila Izzati. Let's proceed. So, I am Nurul Faiza who will present about definition of emotion. What is emotion? According to Robbins 2005, emotions are intense feelings that directed at someone or something. Emotions can be expressed in a variety of ways such as happy, worried, sad, confused, excited, and angry. There are many factors that affect emotions. First, personality, which an individual reacts and interacts with others because there are different characters in each individual. Second, weather. We will get better mood in a good weather. Third, stress. Stress also can worsen person's mood and will give negative vibe to ourselves, also to others. Next, social activities such as hanging with friends can give us either good mood or bad moods. Next, sleep. We must get enough sleep because it will make us stay healthy and also in a good mood. Exercise also can be sources of emotions and mood, so we must have a regular exercise schedule. Age. Age also can affect emotion. There are differences in emotion in every generation. For example, young, elderly, even a newborn baby. Last but not least, gender. Male and female also have different emotions and sometimes can be variable. There are two emotional labor and emotional intelligence. We will go to emotional labor. Emotional labor is a process managing feeling during a job. Individuals in service industry are expected to be positive, friendly, and polite at all the time. There are two rules in emotional labor, which are feeling rule and expression rule. Next is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is ability to understand, use, and manage our emotion in positive ways. This section will be explained further by Arnie.
Emotions can impact our life whether it is in a good way or the total opposite. It is based on how we control it. One of the implications of emotions is that it helps us to develop empathy. As humans, we do realize that empathy is critical for a human because that feelings can differentiate us whether we are the good guy or the bad one in our chapters of life. Empathy is a very strong emotion that impacts how we act towards people around us. For example, a manager approves his coworker taking an emergency leave because he understands and sympathy towards the coworker's difficulties. It helps to improve the relationship between the coworker and the manager. Secondly, emotions help us to make an effective decisions. As we know, the pros of the emotions is that it has an emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to detect and to manage emotional cues and informations. There are three components in emotional intelligence. First and foremost is consciousness, which helps us to perceive emotions in the self and others. Second is cognitive, which help us to understand the meaning of these emotions. And the third one, we have emotional stability, which it helps us to regulate one's emotion accordingly. This basically helps the decision maker to be rational and make an effective decision. And the last but not least, emotions helps us to regulate emotion for emotional labor. What is emotional labor? Emotional labor is the situation where an employee expresses organizationally desired emotions during interpersonal transactions at work. The better understanding about the employees can help the organizations to cooperate with their team members in order to achieve their organizational goals.
Ways to control your emotions. Firstly, understand your emotions. Take some time to think about how you feel, what is causing you to feel this way, and why did you behave in that manner. When our capacity to think cognitively is in sync with our ability to feel emotions, we will be able to better comprehend the sort of situations we are in and come up with solutions and take appropriate actions. Secondly, practice a healthy lifestyle. Get a quality rest, which should be at least 8 hours per day. Follow a healthy, balanced diet and engage in physical activities as swimming, walking, or jogging. Physical activity can help us release neurochemicals associated with happy moods, which are endorphins and serotonin. Last but not least, be optimist. Optimism may help a person in overcoming a variety of challenges and frustrations by allowing us to see the situations in a more positive way.
To sum it up, when working in an organization, emotions are very important to us. Emotion can be influenced by a variety of factors, and there are two types of emotions: emotional labor and emotional intelligence. Emotion have an impact on our attitudes and behavior at work. If our emotions are positive, our work will be as well. If we are distracted by emotions, our work will be inefficient, and it will disrupt customers and other employees. To be the best employees, we must be adept at managing our emotions while on the job. To experience pleasant feelings, we must think positively and let go of the troubles that plague our minds. Employers must also consider their employees' feeling. For example, give them mental and physical assistance. As a result, we will be able to control our emotion and operate effectively.
Okay, now we go to the second topic that we choose, which are value and belief. Belief is thing that a person accepts as true. Values was that help an individual determine right or wrong as well as how to respond to certain situations. There are international values in different cultures, such as power distance, individualism versus collectivism, masculinity versus femininity, uncertainty avoidance, and long-term versus short-term orientation. First, power distance. A culture that gives great difference to a person of authority is a high power distance culture. Cultures that values the equal treatment of everyone is a low power distance. Next is individualism versus collectivism. Independence and person uniqueness is individualism. People value duty to their group is collectivism. Masculinity, preference in society for achievement, heroism, assertiveness, and material rewards for success. Femininity, preference for cooperation, modesty, caring for the weak, and quality of life. Long-term orientation stands for the fostering of virtues oriented towards futures rewards, in particular perseverance and thrift. Short-term orientation stands for the fostering of virtues related to the past and present.
Now, what are the implications of values and belief? One of the implications is that it helps us to focus on the details. The moment we identify other employees' judgments and perceptions, we tend to be more careful in completing our job tasks. Details are very important in organizational plans. One mistake can lead to difficulties to achieve the organizational goals. It helps us to emphasize on persistence and helps us to get promotions in certain of time. A balanced persistence and less mistakes made in our work tasks may help the organizational to develop a long-term plan. A structured long-term plan helps the company to survive and avoid from bankruptcy. Secondly, value and belief may help to produce a reliable employee. In such organizational, it is critical for them to find an employee that they can rely on and trust them with decision making. Decision making is not an easy task. It needs a very careful process of analyzing data so that the decision can bring goods to the company. A person who is reliable is the person who has uncertainty avoidance. They tend to use the facts and logic in making decisions instead of following their institutions. They tend to fully rely on facts and avoid the uncertainty. This helps the company to decrease the risk of bankruptcy. Last but not least, the implications of values and belief is that it develops tolerance between the employees and the managers. This can be highly related to collectivism in the international values. What is collectivism? Collectivism is a situation where people value their group membership and harmonious relationship within the group. Tolerance helps the collectivism to improve. Why? Because when we are being tolerant by accepting other people's opinions, even when they are total opposite of yours, it helps the community to improve their cooperations in order to get a good results as an outcome.
How to improve employees' organizational values? Firstly, create an effective communications. Each member of the organization should communicate clearly, honestly, and openly. Each member must form a cooperative relationship with the organizations. This makes employees feel valued and set up a loyalty drive towards the organizations. Secondly, instill tolerance in the organizations. Differences within the organizations can take many forms. Differences in belief, culture, point of view, preferences, and so on. Leaders should emphasize to everyone in the office that their company respects differences and does not discriminate against anyone who is perceived as different from most people. Last but not least, create equality in the workplace. Promote equality and non-discriminations by hiring employees based on their abilities, not gender. This will make everyone in the company feel recognized and treated fairly regardless of the positions, genders, and responsibilities.
To summarize, values and belief are two important concepts that govern our behavior and attitudes. Although our attitudes, perception, personality, character, and behavior are all influenced by our values and belief, there is a major difference between them. The primary distinction between values and belief is that values are principles, ideals, or behavioral norms, whereas belief are convictions that we commonly accept as true. Our values, attitudes, and behavior are all not influenced by our deeply held belief. Last but not least, everyone has created an internalized system of belief and values over the course of their life. Thank you.